everyone. Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin, Tyler Robinson, is due in court again on January 16th for a preliminary hearing. Prosecutors are expected to call witnesses to the stand to establish probable cause before the case heads to trial. A few days ago, the judge in the case ruled that the redacted transcripts and audio from a hearing back in October can be released, and if convicted, Robinson could end up facing death by firing squad. Here to discuss all of this with us is Clayton Simms, a Utah-based criminal defense attorney. It's nice to see you, Clayton. Normally you just see me in my hoodie. You get to see me at my day job now. But it's good to see you again. What do you think we can expect at this hearing that's, I think, a little less than 2 weeks away from now?
Right. So the first thing that's going to be held is the motion to recuse. So the defense has filed a motion saying that in real time there was communication from family members of the prosecutor, and that those messages were shared. So of course this is an event that occurred with many witnesses, up to 3,000 participants that are sort of observing, witnessing, and a family member of the prosecutor office received text messages, and those messages were shared with the colleagues in the office. It was actually shared with the head county attorney, Jeffrey Gray.
Wow, interesting. So basically, yeah, one of the prosecutor's family members was at the Charlie Kirk event, was basically a witness within, I think it was 80 feet of Charlie Kirk being shot, and now you've got the defense saying that this is a conflict of interest. What do you think the judge is going to do about this? Do you consider it to be a conflict?
I do believe it's a conflict, and it's not a small thing. The way that the prosecutor was introduced to this case was through these text messages, was for this communication, not through law enforcement, not through any other source. And so I think it's going to be a problem that was the first understanding of the case. Is that person okay? There's a personal connection there, and that was spread throughout their office, and it went all the way up to the top.
So will they possibly just throw one prosecutor off the case, or could they actually throw the entire prosecution off? And if they did that, then what happens?
Well, the judge could do a number of things. Remove no one, remove the prosecutor who got the text message, or remove the entire office. The problem was that it was disseminated widely, and it was disseminated to the top. So the person who's in charge of, should this person get the death penalty? Who should be on the prosecution team? What decisions, what plea bargains should be offered? That decisions are made by the top person. That person was presented with those text messages in real time from the prosecutor's family member, presumably a kid.
Interesting. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see which way the judge rules. There's also still an outstanding question about whether the judge is going to allow cameras long-term in the courtroom. Any feeling on which way this will go? Because there's so much interest in the case, and there's so many conspiracy theories. It seems like it would be in the public's best interest to keep cameras so everyone can see what happens.
Right. The judge has ruled that you can't show his handcuffs, you can't show notes from the counsel table. There's certain qualifications, there's certain limitations. I think that the judge is concerned that the media, whoever was filming, didn't obey those rules, and there was concerns with that. But I think long term, there has to be an open courtroom. We have to know what's going on. What's interesting about the new motion to recuse is that even could be turned into a sealed hearing.
Oh, could it? You think they, because last time I was in Utah, they made us all leave the courtroom right away for a sealed hearing. I was in there for like 30 seconds in the beginning. You think they could do that again?
I think that that's a concern, is that they're going to talk about private communication, text messages. What messages did you receive? And also, too, you think if the prosecutor's showing Jeffrey Gray, the head prosecutor, that message, what would that person say? Well, is your kid all right? Is the person there all right? Are they traumatized by this? Are they safe? Are they in harm's way? And so they're going to be witnesses.
Yeah, that's going to be.
Yes. What was the impact?
Right.
And so part of the death penalty decision making is what kind of impact did this have on society? How many people did this impact?
Right. Well, I hope they don't close it, because I'm going to be coming back to Utah. So maybe I'll see you there in a couple of weeks. Clayton Simms, appreciate you coming on tonight. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.